thanks for joining us, and really hope that you're able to learn a bit from this. One of the things we're really excited to be trying to push with some of our businesses is getting more people, not just online, but putting product up there. And right now that's more important than ever. We really recognize that our downtown, the core of it is always going to be those bricks and mortar stores, that shopping experience. But we feel like, not just right now trying to get a bit of cash flowing, but once this is over too, I think that a lot of people's habits are going to form around things that are happening right now. And there's going to be more and more of those sales happening online. So what we want to do is just make sure our businesses are able to stay competitive by having at least some of their product going out online. Again, we don't anticipate that this is going to take over your store and be more than 50% of your sales, but it's not unrealistic to think 15 to 25% of your sales in the not too distant future could be going through your website. And so if you're not doing it, those are sales that probably aren't going to end up at your store, and hopefully we can at least keep that within our local business community. But that's part of the reason we're working with Sophie. Part of what she's doing with us is just helping people get recognized and make different investments in their digital, whether that's menus online, Google listings, that kind of thing. But I know today a lot of the focus is around setting up e-commerce sites, and there's quite a range of things you can do, and there's the real expensive full-blown ones that everybody always loves. But there's a lot of things that you can do that are a little more cost-friendly, especially if you've got the time to dig into it and set some of that stuff up. And Sophie's been doing a great job the last few weeks with getting some of those businesses up and going. And we just have room for one of those stories on today's session, and that's Sandra. Thanks so much for joining us over from Statement House. And Sophie, just take it away and explain what we can be doing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I am going to share my screen by showing you a PowerPoint. So when I do that, I won't be able to see your faces. For my point, you still will be able to see me and each other, but I won't be able to see you. But if you want me to stop talking for a moment, please unmute yourself and ask me a question. And then after we get into it, you'll see that we'll be inviting Matt and Sandra. And Sandra, I didn't do that, my dog did. Sandra is the owner of Statement House, and Matt is her very loyal human that I think's worked with her since the beginning, and they've done some amazing things. So they're going to talk the last 15 minutes or more of this session. I'm going to talk for in the middle, maybe 20 minutes, and then and so we have lots of time for questions, okay? And so I am going to now go over to my PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm able to give free support because of the support of the DBIA, our economic development. And I worked with Joel in the summer a little bit, where I helped train some of his digital Mainstreet squad. And I am a digital Mainstreet vendor as well. And if you need my help, you'll be able to contact me through 123digitalpower.com. And so basically today we've been helping, this is everyone we've been helping so far in the past few weeks since Joel put it out there that we're here for you guys. So it's been intense and a lot of good experiences, and I've been very thankful that I've been able to help. And this is one of the teams I've been able to help, Tim from Blue Streak Records. He didn't have a cell phone, so it was fun. And he called me his digital midwife. And then I realized I knew his real wife, and I didn't realize they were a couple. So we had a session together where she's now taken over the Google listing we created for him and the Facebook business page to keep it up to date. So it's been exciting meeting people and businesses virtually like this. So who am I? Just quickly, 50% of my time I spend training, I think, which is why Joel reached out to me. I've trained over 3,000 businesses at, as well as students through Trent University, and businesses through being in business, doing this as a agency since 2002. So there's a lot of businesses downtown that I've trained, and a lot of businesses that I do all of their social media for them, like Kawartha TV and Stereo. I manage their Google listing. Google listings are very important. It's one of the things I always start with when I talk to a business, to make sure that their Google listing, that they're posting business products on their Google listing to help them. And now what I've been doing is helping them put their products so they can sell them the link so that people can buy their products on these free Google listings. I do all the knock on woods posting, as well as created their website, manage their website and their Instagram, Amadella's. I do their social media. And I'm really, really focused on making sure the business gets targeted clients, and that those clients turn into, targeted views, and those views turn into clients. That's what I'm all about. And I really do leverage the power of the free Google listing when I work with somebody, as well as making sure that we can add, how you can sell through these social platforms and also the Google listing. So what I've come to realize in the last 4 weeks already that we've been helping businesses, thanks to Joel, is that there are 4 steps that I've been taking them through. First step is, which virtual payment system should you use? So there are virtual payment systems, many, many, many different types. So we kind of look at, as you'll hear from Sandra, and as you'll see from others, there's Square, which is something that a lot of you use at your location. And if you don't use Square, that's okay. There are other systems, many other systems, but Square then lends itself, as you'll hear through Sandra's story, to a website called Wibbly, because Square owns Wibbly. And so together you're able to create a really nice solution. So we first talk about, how are you comfortable receiving payments virtually? So some of the businesses I've worked with, it's e-transfer. That would be Blue Streak. Other businesses I've worked with, it's PayPal. Others, it's been through Square, and others, it's through their e-store like Shopify, and you'll see that in a moment. So first we talk about, what payment systems are you comfortable with? Then we decide which one of those have e-commerce potential, or at least links you can use to build your products online. Then we talk about which currently in this world, what services, products, or digital services do you have that you can sell right now during COVID? And then we talk about, okay, after COVID, which of those products and services do you want to continue to sell? And which products and services will you add as far as selling online? So we kind of look at that into the now and into the future, both lenses. Then we decide, okay, right now we know how you're going to collect your money. We know which products you're going to sell. Step number 3 is, how are you going to deliver that service? Is it going to be curbside pickup? Is it going to be delivery, or is it a digital service that you can download? So which is it going to be? How are you going to deliver that service now? And then how are you going to deliver that service into the future? And then step number 4 is, okay, now that we know how you're going to collect money, now we know which products you're going to sell, where are we putting it online? Is it on your current website? There are a number of people that didn't have access to their current website. So we decided to put it on their Google listing, because they have access to that and it's free. There are other businesses that didn't have access to a website, so we had to create a new website. There are other ones that didn't have access to a website, so we just put it on their Facebook business page. That's Buy It Here on Facebook. So those are kind of the 3-4 things we looked at. Payment, how you're going to deliver which products, how you're going to deliver it, and then how are you going to let people know about it? So those are the 4 things I've been helping people with generally. So this is something, there's one of a downtown business. They are a training of dogs. It's actually where my little girls get trained. And she was collecting money through PayPal.me / so we created a account for her. She could actually send this out and put in the amount of money she wanted that people owed her, and they would put in the amount of money. And this link could be sent out through email, or it could be sent out on a Facebook post or a direct message, and she received her money. And they could pay via PayPal or any credit card. So this was using the PayPal system. And then she mentioned in passing that she happened to also have Square. And so Square is another system that works beautifully, and it creates a beautiful landing page, and it creates the ability to also create a link where you can click on it and send her payment for this product. We like Square because it also allows you to check your inventory, and it gives you a lot of details on what's been sold, and it links to another product called Wibbly that I'll show you in a minute. So this would be kind of step one. What kind of payment systems might you be using? This is an example of a simple one that you can use, either PayPal or the or the Square. And what you can do on the Square payment system, this is also on Facebook. So all she did on Facebook was add a product. She put up a picture of the product and then a link to the payment system, which happens to be a checkout Square site. You can kind of see it under there. It says this will take you to checkout Square site. You click on that and then you're able to pay her. So it's beautiful for her. This is another one where the Muse or the Edison, she wanted to be able to sell coffee. People were looking to buy coffee from her, pounds of coffee. And so she happens to use Square at her location downtown. And so I introduced her to the Square payment, and with that, we created this product. And what you're going to see in a little bit when Matthew takes over, how to actually put in a product on Square, which feeds his Wibbly website. So it's very cool. So in this case, we created her product on Square, and now she has put that link on Facebook right away, and then she was able to also put it on her website. So she's very happy with that. If you go to Facebook, you can see that the photo we put up, and then check it out, and it says check out the Square site. They click on that, and it ends up going right here to this where people can now check out, and this happens to be what they'll see when they get to Square. And then she shows up here at your door. So this happens to be at my door. So the process we took her through was, what do you want to sell? What payment systems do you have access to? It ended up being Square. Where can we let people know about it? We put it out there on Facebook. And then her delivery method in her case, in Lindsay's case, was that she shows up at your location and puts it out there. So she's paid, and she has 1 day a week or 2 days a week now that she delivers. So it's beautiful. So that's another kind of suggestion. So this was what we did for Blue Streak. We meet like this, and in Tim's case, he didn't have a website. So what you're seeing here is a free website from Google. So remember that Google listing I talked about? The Google listing itself is really important, because when someone does a search, what ends up happening is what comes up first on the search is anyone who has bought an ad with those keywords that the person is searching for, as well as any Google listings come up first. And this is a Google listing. So it's driven by your Google listing. So what we did first for Tim was I claimed his Google listing while he was on the line with me. We claimed it. And then from that, we created a free Google website, which is this. This Google website is fed by the Google listing. So any photos on the Google listing, any posts on the Google listing, any reviews on the Google listing. And oh my goodness, he had like 87 reviews that he didn't even know about that were all 5 stars. And people, that is very effective. So it was really cool. So we did that for him. And he likes to get emails to give people quotes. So what the Google listing lets you do in the website is you get to say, give me a call, get directions, or get a quote. And the get a quote goes right to his email. So we took people through, we took them through, okay, so what are you selling? How do you want to be contacted? And he's one of the ones that would rather get an e-transfer, so we didn't have to create anything on Square or PayPal or any other systems. So he's all set. People click on get a quote and he gets an email right away. So if I search for record stores in Peterborough, he now comes up first. Yay! So I'm really, really proud of that for him. So that was very cool. So he's got his Google listing, he's got his free website, and we also were able to create a Facebook page for him immediately as well. I'm just trying to get to his Facebook page. Here you go. And his Facebook page. And I think he's almost at 300 likes already. And we just did this last week for him. And like I said, when I realized who his wife was, because Tim was not comfortable going in, and he was comfortable, but she was much more comfortable. So she's doing the posting, which is awesome. So that's just another example of something you can do quickly. And what I wanted to share with you here were some of the results so far. Some of the posts, as I said, we've just put him up now, and some of his posts are already reaching over 600 people. On average, they're reaching around 150 people. And as you know, that's quite a bit when you first launch. So then another one that we worked on was Min's Chinese grocery store downtown. So in this one, he wasn't coming up. He didn't have a digital presence. So now if you put in downtown Peterborough groceries, he comes up, which is amazing. And what I meant by above the fold, you don't have to scroll down. He comes up above the fold, which is awesome. And that's because this is his Google listing, that free listing. And what's happened right there is I go in once a week for him and we post something to his Google listing, one of his products. And that's really helped him. So he's got his free Google listing, and we also created a free Google website for him. Again, there's no e-commerce. You can't buy through this website, but it's just for presence. And so we have both of those. And what I wanted to share with you is we actually started this work with Min back in the end of January because he was part of the digital Mainstreet grant back then. So we started this with him then, and you can see, so the first quarter, he's already had 42,000 searches so that he's come up with. So I'm thrilled for him. So he comes up, like I said, and then this, what I wanted to show you, shows you that Google, the free listing. This is the Google free listing still. I'm in the back end from the Google free listing. I'm showing you the insights. It shows you for free. You can see all these insights. It shows you here that his website has been searched that many times. And this is a daily graph that you can look at, and it shows you his website, his directions, requests for directions, and how many people have called him. So you're able to get a lot of information through your Google listing. And I manage a number of Google ads for companies as well as their Google listings. And these Google listings are starting to outperform where I'm spending a couple $1,000s in ads. The Google listings are very powerful if you post to them on a weekly basis. It's like you're doing a post to Facebook, but make sure you do a post to your Google listing. So it's really important. So I kept on saying the free Google website. This is what it looks like, the free Google website. So this is Min's free Google website. If you recall, for Blue Streak, we had here get a quote, and he got an email because that's what he wanted. In this case, Ken from Min's, what he wanted was a phone call. So you can change this on the Google website, the free website, for it to say call. So in this case, if someone clicks on it, if they're on their phone, it's going to call right away. So I always encourage you to get one of these, even if you have a real website, to get your Google website, just so Google knows who you are. It's very helpful. So this is what a Google post looks like. And I suggest you do these once a week. It'll help you get found. And these Google posts should be product specific. It's not about me posting about my dogs, which there aren't, I don't even know where my dogs are right now. It's not about me posting about my dogs. This is about posting things that people are looking for. So he sells this pad thai, he sells this seaweed salad, he sells this. So you're going to do a post about products that people might be looking for. That's going to give more content to Google so it knows how to present you. So these are really important and they're free to do. You want to do a post once a week, it'll really help you. So if you could buy this product online, and what you would be able to do is have a link back to your website for them to buy it. And that's what I'm hoping that Statement House will be doing. This is what I do on a weekly basis for Kawartha TV and Stereo. So if you have the ability to sell online, this is where you would do the product on your Google listing as well, with a link back for them to buy it. So that's pretty cool. So this is another reason I really like the Google website and the Google listing is you can manage your reputation. It automatically puts all your testimonials or reviews that are over 5 stars on your Google free website. So it's really cool that way. So it helps people see, and if people want to leave a review, it just says write a review and they can write a review for you. Very simple. So, and then finally, there's 2 more I want to leave you with before I hand it over. And what this one is all about is getting found in a dynamic inventory. This was the food shop. When we first started working with the food shop, I thought they just needed a free website for now from Google. And I put that up for them. And it ended up that what they really wanted was a dynamic, well, what happened was COVID happened and they needed a dynamic inventory. So the Google listing is very basic. It couldn't do that, the Google listing website. So what we did for them instead was created this little website on Wix, which is the same that my website's on, and it's the same that Knock on Wood's website is on. But we created this on Wix, and what we added to it was something that may not be that attractive, but it's functional for now. It's an Excel spreadsheet that's in a Google inventory doc, a Google inventory document, and it's shared with them and myself. So they can go on, Anthony can go on and update his inventory. When he does that, it automatically updates his website. So this would be a great way if you have a menu and you want it to be updated easily, or you want it on your website. So this was something we were able to do very easily for him using the platform Wix. So that was something that we did for him there. So I wanted to share that with you. So now on the other end, this is Mainstreet. And with these folks, they wanted a heavily inventory, a system that would help them with their inventory. They wanted to go through and read the barcodes in their store, because they have a lot of small little accessories for bikes. So they wanted to read the barcodes for all of those and put those on a system for their inventory, be able to sell some of that also online. They also wanted to be able to drop ship products from some of their suppliers across the country. So in their case, we ended up going with Shopify. So Shopify is a little bit more complicated than anything I've shared with you so far, less complicated than Weebly, but it's got a lot of powerful features to it. So this is something we set up for them, and then their team came on board, which happens to be their kids who live in a different city, and we did one of these sessions, and now they're updating it. So this is just another example of a Shopify physical and online inventory, and they just launched if you wanted to go see it. They have a lot of different categories and such. And so this is the back end of Shopify. You can see when you go into the back end of Shopify, you're able to look at your orders, add products, look at your customer's profile. Where are they? What did they order? You're able to look at your analytics, what pages people went to. You're able to look at your online store and modify it. You're able to look at payment providers and do payment integration with different payment providers, Moneris and so forth, PayPal, of course. You're able to integrate with different shopping partners like Canada Post and like other courier companies, and have automatic shipping put in. A lot of meticulous work needs to go into the back end to create it, and then you have a system that's quite manageable. And then notifications on all of these systems as soon as you get a sale, there's a notification that goes to the email letting you know that you get a sale. So it's kind of one of the things I wanted to show you. So now if I search for e-bikes in Peterborough, they're the first ones that come up above the fold. So I'm thrilled about that for them. So the people we spoke to, or I spoke to Sandra, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and she was already very prepared. She was already had already done a lot of her research. I think she already made her conclusion as to what she was going to do. I think she was just doing a sanity check with myself to see if this was the right approach. And I have to say, she already had all the answers. So then the next call we had, she brought on Matt and his cat. And we talked about Square. So when we first talked, I'm going to hand it over to Sandra and let her take you through the process. But since we talked, they've launched their website within a week. This is their beautiful website. And since then, they've created their gift card using Square. And I've seen that she's got gift cards in many places. There's no reason not to have gift cards in many places. And when you go to their Facebook page, you'll see that you click here, and you'll see that that takes you back to their website. So let me end my show and go back to you guys. Okay, so Sandra, do I have to unmute you? Oh, you know what? I should stop presenting. Okay, stop presenting. That's good. And
okay, so can you hear me now?
We can.
Okay, yay. Well, hi everybody. Thanks very much for including Matt and I, Sophie, in your presentation today. Lots of great information. So the reason that we were brought into the fold was to give you a little bit of background about our experience. So we opened our shop in December, downtown Peterborough. And of course, everyone knows where we are now. Doors are closed. But Matt and I, we had some presence on Etsy, which is a website where you can sell vintage products. But we knew that we wanted to have an online presence and our own personal website. So we had been researching a lot of the different platforms, but when the pandemic hit and we had to close the doors, we knew online was definitely going to be critical for us to keep moving forward. So we did some research. Shopify, Wix, GoDaddy, there's so many platforms out there. But I just happened to stumble across when I was doing a payment one day that there was online on Square. So I started investigating, and sure enough, it's powered by Weebly. And we were able to create a free website. And it was quite user-friendly. I'm not tech savvy at all. As everybody knows, I'm a real bricks and mortar girl. But I don't think you can survive in the climate that we're in anymore by just being bricks and mortar, and especially where we are now, online is critical. So we, Matt and I, both jumped on remotely. We're separated, obviously, and the two of us were able to access Weebly and start going through the process of developing the website. It was super user-friendly. It really guided you through. It gave you little checkpoints to say, oh, you're 20% there, you're 30% there. It guided you towards different areas that you hadn't completed yet. So we were able to start putting some inventory up. One of the big things was able to offer a gift card, so that some of our local people could support us while our doors were closed, looking forward to us opening again. But the big thing was, I found anyways, I mean, aside from it being free, which is awesome, it was very user-friendly, and both Matt and I can access it from different vantage points. And along the way, we've also learned how to link it in with our Facebook page, with our Instagram page. So everybody looks at things differently in the social media world. So a lot of people can find us through different facets of social media. So that's great. So I would say the only thing that we're doing at the moment now is we're considering how to upgrade now. Because it's free and we're trying to save money, it also has some limitations, obviously, on the free platform. So it's easy to get on, get it launched. I'm a perfectionist, so I was shy about launching it and it not being perfect, but I guess that would be one of my other advices. Like, don't wait too long. Once you feel that you're almost there, just go for it, launch it, live and learn. But the limitations with the free site, I think the big one really is all of the shipping profiles. So we're going to have to upgrade to a paid experience at some point. So when we get to that stage, whether we stay with Weebly or we start investigating other platforms remains to be seen. But right now, I think the website looks great. It looks great online. It looks great on people's laptops, but it also
Beautiful.
looks really, yeah, thank you. So it also looks really good on people's telephones. Yeah, if you're using your phone to, which a lot of people do, obviously. Some websites don't look overly great when you're scrolling through on a phone, but this one actually is, it's really nice. It scrolls very nicely. So I think I'll hand it over to Matt, because I know it's probably going to take him a little bit of technical work here, but he's going to show you how we actually added an item to our website, and it's pretty user-friendly, as you'll be able to see.
Thank you so much. Okay, I am going to go over to, I'm pinning you, Matt. I think you can present now too.
All right, sweet. I'm Matt, so I manage the store when it's open, and I manage our Instagram and the website. So I'm just going to present quickly and show you guys how to add an image to the website really quickly.
Oh, I missed the cat. Oh, there she is. Oh, okay.
Okay, should I keep going then?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's super easy to navigate, but at the top, when you're editing your website, there's always the add button. So you can go in and add like a section, page, item, or category. So you just click on add item. In this case, we're going to do a brown wicker bag. And then you just add the price. So this item is $30. And then you do a short description, just letting people know what the item is. So vintage brown wicker bag with brown lining interior. And then you can just add multiple images or just one image if you want, but obviously adding more images is better for the product so people can kind of see all angles. And it's also like for clothing especially, if there's any, well, vintage clothing especially, if there's any like tears or anything, we would put that image in there just so people can see what's wrong with our item if there is something wrong with it. So I'm just going to be adding 2 images for this one. Just the front and the back image of this bag. And then, so we were kind of playing around with the shipping and pickup and delivery. Unfortunately, you can't separate pickup and delivery. So if you wanted to deliver within Peterborough or like have people pick up at the store, you could have that option. But you can't do one or the other. So you couldn't have just the option for people to pick up at your store or just the option to deliver. So we're just sticking to shipping for now. And you can kind of do a Canada-wide flat fee on shipping prices. So we do $20 shipping across Canada, no matter where you are. And we also tried to see if we could change just for within Peterborough, if we can make shipping free, but that is not an option in the free version. I'm pretty sure it's not an option in the paid version as well. But I think they're also still trying to add more functions and stuff to Square and Weebly. So eventually, I think they're planning on separating pickup and delivery, but as of right now, it's together. So we're going to go ahead and save that item. And then, so you can go to your different categories at the top left here. So we have like multiple different clothing categories. So we would put this in purses, bags, and clutches. And then you go to item list. Arrange and add items. And then you go to edit category, and then once this loads, so you can choose what items that you've already made to add to your item list, and then you just search whatever you just added.
What are you typing? Brown
wicker.
Okay.
That should come up. Yep, brown wicker bag. Check mark that, save it, and then once you save, it will be in your inventory. So now I'm just going to quickly show you how to link that item to your Google page. And sometimes this happens where like the image doesn't show up, but it's just a flaw with the website and it will eventually be there. But I don't know why that is a problem right now. So if you go to your Google, you can just like add different posts and products and stuff. So you just add product, you can only add one photo for some reason for products on Google, as far as I know. So you can just add one of the images from your product. So then you just collect a category for your item and then do the price. And then you can add a link. So if you want to do learn more or buy, so I would hit buy, and then I would just put the link in for the brown wicker bag from our website. And it doesn't seem like it wants to work right now. But yeah, you just copy the...
Did you click publish?
Yeah, well, it should be there.
I don't remember. I don't mean that you did, but I just don't remember if you did.
So then, yeah, you just put the link in for your item, and then you would just, that would go to your Google post.
And what's nice about that is the Google post shows up on your search results. So now you're inviting people back to your website. And the more links you have back to your website, the more important Google thinks you are. Especially having a link from a Google post to your website feeds your SEO, your search engine optimization. So it helps you get found by doing these kind of things, figuring out your website, figuring out your payment system, and then how are you going to let people know about it? And a Google post like you just did through the product is just, it's good all around because it helps you get found in the future too. And that same link that he was talking about is what you would add to Facebook as a product.
Yep, and then you can also use the link to put on Instagram as well, and then it links, like if someone clicks on your Instagram post, your link will be on the picture, and then it will take you to the website.
And emails too. If you ever do emails, that's another good way to communicate, especially to women over a certain age. They still like emails. So it depends on who your target market is.
So I don't know if Nicole has a website already or if she uses Square. Do you use Square? And you already have a website? Okay. Yeah. Because I was going to say Nicole probably has the same challenges that Matt and I have. Most of our products are one of a kind. So it's a lot of work when you get onto a website because once something's gone, it's gone. And then you've got to start, adding more items. We don't have multiple colors or multiple sizes of every item. Everything's one of a kind. So that's it's another challenge that we have being an online seller.
So it's nice, and we've tested it that when one thing is purchased, it automatically says sold out. So you don't have to worry about someone else trying to purchase the one of a kind. So that's nice. So you don't have to worry about that. So I think that was there anything else that we missed in sharing, Sandra or Matt, as far as your journey?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I think the fun part was that it was pretty user friendly. So I'd like to stress that so that people aren't afraid to get in there and just start to poke around. And of course, Matt and I are separated, so we've just been communicating by IM and doing things individually, and it's all come together nicely. So.
I remember Sandra
a lot
saying,
of it was trial and error, but Square also has like a help center, so you can give them a call, or like a lot of the frequently asked questions that people struggle with are already on their website. So like the questions can be answered very easily if you're stumped on something.
Exactly. And then Sandra, I know she was talking about being a perfectionist and not wanting to send it out too early. And a lot of entrepreneurs are like that. It's their baby. You don't want to get it out there too early. So it's nice. I remember you were saying, wow, it was nice to realize that I can change it at any time and the website doesn't go down. It's out there. I can change it and I'm still live, you know, so, and that was nice. And then you already happen to have a relationship with Canada Post. So eventually when you upgrade, you're gonna be able to go in and put in your Canada Post information. It does a lot of the shipping calculations for you, but that's at the next level. And Shopify, whichever one you go through, it's the same thing. If you have a relationship with one of those shipping companies, it'll integrate the two. But like Sandra said, first you need to know what your ID is and your account is with the shipping company, and then you add that to, in this case, to Weebly or to Shopify. So that's how those ones work. And then I think people might have wanted to know, does anyone have any questions?
I do actually, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So you're recording, how can I view this later?
I can send you the recording. I'm going to send it to Joel, actually.
Okay.
And share it with everybody.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So one of the things I didn't know if people wanted to know, but I added after Sandra and we talked yesterday, was just a really quick one on how much the different platforms cost. So there's a lot of variables. Is from current slide, yeah. Just basically, each one of these have a link. So so you'll be able to click on this and go to their details and go to those details and go to those details. But in essence, you know, these Weebly and Wix and Google all have free versions of their websites. Google's is not you saw what Google's was. It's not a shopping website, right? It's just a getting found on Google website. It's dynamic in the area of any posts you do onto Google will automatically show up on that site. Weebly, as you saw, it could be free. So the actual URL is statementhouse.something.something. Whereas when you upgrade, you can get your own domain on there for $6 a month. But then it's their domain still at $6 a month. The upgrade is $12 a month to have your own domain. And what ends up happening as you increase, you end up getting better rates in the transactions. So the transactions are all 2.4 to 2.9% of the sale, plus they all seem to do 30 cents per full transaction. So that's interesting, just so that you know. So as you spend more with them, sometimes the transaction fee goes down. Shopify, there is no free. You can do free for 90 days, then they make you upgrade. And then it's $9 a month or $24 a month if you want your own domain again. And then $29 a month if you want more storage. Wix, its online sales is good, but if you have many items, Shopify or Weebly would be better. Wix, if you have a lot of video and a lot of visual, then you may want to go towards Wix. Wix will allow you to upload hours and hours and hours of video and streams it for you. So people that are video based in what they're selling, they may want to lean towards Wix. So that's kind of how I look at it differently. But what I love about Weebly is its integration to Square. That just makes it a really nice, simple transition. I said that correctly. So those are the prices, and these all link back to the detailed prices for each of them if you wanted to see the detailed prices. And then you can see you can go from $29 all the way to $299 a month, depending on what you're looking for. And some of it is, they're all online, unlimited products. This is in Shopify. This tells you how many people can access it. So obviously, if you have a larger organization, $299 a month is not very much for 15 people to access your website and to add content to it. What's interesting, though, is the gift card. On Shopify, you have to have the $80 a month one, and these are all US dollars to get the gift card. So that is another reason why I like Weebly. if you can, because Wibbly's the very first one of Wibbly's I think the free version actually also allowed the gift card, now that I think about it, so I'm not going to log in. Yes, you're right, Sandra, because you guys have the gift card. So I kind of like that about Wibbly too, that right off the bat, you're able to use it and you're able to use the gift card. So it's a great way to get into it. And that's about it. And if for those of you that aren't part of the webinar but see this later, if you'd like some help in either your Google listing, your digital strategy, your digital calendar, your online sales options, social media, your SEO to see if it's optimized for SEO, being search engine optimization, I'd be happy to help you. And again, I wanted to thank downtown Peterborough and for sponsoring myself being able to help. If you go to my website, I also have a bunch of different videos there. This one will probably be there as well, sharing with you how to productivity apps on Google, trends for 2020, the 4 steps to going online, to e-commerce, and other videos that I know people have been asking for.
No, I think that covers it pretty well. Thanks so much, Sophie and Sandra and Matthew. I just really encourage businesses to go and seek you out, and if they've got questions, and be able to sort this out, because this is really good. This is where we want to go.